Hi. So I'm going to actually pick up with an interesting thread that I started last video, which is I mentioned this UN refugee data upload, which overlapped with some refugee and IDP camps in the Myanmar area that I was editing. Well, I mentioned then, oh, I thought that someone might go around and try to delete the edits because it was just a massive import of data on this like almost global scale. And sure enough, a couple days ago, I can see on the change set, someone's left a comment saying that they might delete it, and then they had a conversation with the user, which is happening over private messages. So I don't know the whole details about that. I think this data is really important and should be in OpenStreetMap in some capacity, but I guess I should explain why does someone think that this person has done something wrong on OpenStreetMap. First, like you can tell from this video or this picture, it's such a large data import. It covers a huge chunk of the world and 1,000 plus points. So it's not something that is very easy to review manually. And it's unclear if even the original editor has looked to make sure if all these points are real places. In fact, as I was looking around Myanmar, I noticed one of them is not really its own refugee camp, but for example, a church. So that should be tagged as a place of worship and handled in that particular way and not just as a point. Which brings me to the other issue, which is these are being added to OpenStreetMap as just a point with some tags that they've decided on. And they're not tags that are used by anyone else in the OpenStreetMap community. They're not going to show up on the map. You're not going to see like a name on the map. And we don't want to create tags just so they show up in a particular way on the map. The phrase we use for that is don't tag for the renderer. But I think it's telling that they've imported so much data and none of it is like interacting with the other public parts of the map. They're sort of treating it as a like a uploading it to Dropbox or something like that, which this is not. I think it would be helpful if they uploaded it using some other, like I showed last video, some more conventional or common refugee tags. If they removed, this person particularly mentions in the comments all these additional tags, which are never used on OpenStreetMap and are sometimes blank in their upload. So just being more careful about what they used in the tags would go a long way towards making this a good data upload. The third thing is, at least when I've been looking at the church and other areas that have been uploaded, it seems like there's 2 points right on top of each other. I don't know if they're two separate change sets or two different people uploaded the same data or what exactly happened, but at least one half of those points, or maybe all the points from this change set, should be deleted so that the other points can continue being whatever it is that they are. This isn't really, I mean, this could be just someone who's like a very earnest beginner and trying to share this data that they have. I think it's going to go a long way. And I think it's a good way to get started on editing OpenStreetMap for refugee areas. But I don't know what's going to happen with this particular change set. And I think this upload could have been done differently if they had OpenStreetMap savvy people on staff. That said, I'll give you an idea of how helpful this change set has been, which was I started clicking, just looking for the first refugee area, which was in a very urban area and needed a little touch of OpenStreetMap editing help. So this is Dikwa in eastern Nigeria. They've marked this as Masar Mari refugee camp. You can see that someone's already come through and done a great deal of detail on the buildings in the central town area. But I was curious, they've placed this point here. Is there anything there that we should be mapping?